So you're all welcome to today's class. Still on the AI and machine learning for peace, conflict, security, and disaster management. I want to believe we spent a couple of weeks discussing this very important topic. And then the good news is everybody is concerned about peace. It affects everybody. Peace, conflict, security, and disaster management. Everybody can relate. Even if it is not your area of specialization, at least you can relate to how important these concepts are. And then another good news there is that under our important clarification series, making AI accessible, ethical, and life-changing, the fact that we are talking about AI and machine learning for peace, conflict, security, and disaster management, the method is generic and applications are diverse. So another very important thing to know. So you really have nothing to lose by listening to what we have been discussing for the past couple of weeks. So because applications are diverse, however, the methods are generic. So if you are able to understand how you can implement AI and machine learning for peace, security, resilience, you can as well pick up your own area of interest and apply it also, and it works fine. So having said that, so we've taken ourselves through. So today we are going to be looking at the concluding parts and also introducing ourselves to some of the data sets that we can check out for free online to start the modeling proper. So we've looked into AI and machine learning for peace, security, and resilience. So the promise of peace, the theater of war, the ethical battlefield, all this we've actually looked into. You can check our videos on the YouTube channel on all these episodes. So the ethical battlefield, the security dilemma, how do we balance safety and liberty? People have right to feel nobody is revealing their information unnecessarily, privacy. However, it's a central debate. It's not new, that's been going on for long. You want to have security and then privacy. Can you achieve the two? The government of the state will need to ensure some proactive monitoring. If you want to have a resilient community where you have predictive policing, you predict disaster before it actually comes so that you can prevent it from happening. In that case, you may have to compromise the privacy of some people before you can ensure that. That's why it's a big issue. The government will say, no, for the security of the entire populace, we have to lower the privacy of some people, especially people of questionable character. See, and once you are cleared of any wrongdoing, then your privacy can be raised again. So this is what we call the security dilemma. We've discussed a lot about this. The resilient society, where you want to transform disaster management using early warning and predictive solution. Don't wait for it to happen. Identify that may be hurricane after some time, or flood, or earthquake. So you can be able to preemptively take decisions. Some days back, we all read to the constellation of the world. Everybody was so shocked, surprised. Volcanoes that have been dormant for thousands of years suddenly came up erupting in Ethiopia. It was very shocking. It could have been disastrous because plane could be flying across those zones at that point in time. These are some of the need for what we call resilient society, where we can transform disaster management using early warning system, predictive solutions, so that we could have diverted the cost of some of those planes. And also even people living in those areas will have gotten some warning that something like this may be coming. Of course, more needed to be done. Maybe no one is even monitoring those active, or they consider them dormant volcanoes, suddenly became active again. because they have not had cases like that for thousands of years, 12,000 or more. So that makes people to think that, no, finish, there's nothing going to happen like that anymore. Anyway, the key is speed and efficiency. Speed and efficiency, and we can save lives. So we've discussed the cross-cutting challenges, the bias and fairness, garbage in, garbage out. AI can amplify human prejudices. How do we avoid that? The black box problem, data dependency, governance and regulation. We say these are challenges that are universal across application domain. Irrespective of AI, we are applying AI and machine learning, we face this issue. So it's a global challenges that has to be looked at also globally or applying to your related area. We look into different predictive AI machine learning solutions for peace and conflict, for peace building and early warning system, post-conflict recovery also. We've discussed all these in detail. Then the predictive solutions for security and disaster management, like security application, like cyber threat prediction. You predict that it's going to be cyber attack before it happens, so you can prevent it from taking place. Forecast crime. Don't wait for it to happen. Let the police be aware there's going to be a crime at so neighborhood at so time. They can mobilize security again there to prevent it from actually happening or minimizing the effect of such criminal incident. Lot of disaster management, early warning systems, you can evacuate people, AI for damage assessment to assess the extent of the damage, resource and logistic forecasting to be able to know the best supply needs, optimize the aid distribution routes to avoid people who are distributing aid going to a wrong direction, that they may also get harmed. See, post-disaster recovery prediction to estimate the recovery time and resilience level of affected communities. And also for that application area we can always think of. So today we are going to now look at what I call AI and machine learning for peace, conflict, security, and disaster management. We'll be looking at some of the free data sets and then providing modeling guide for us. Then we conclude this presentation today. So we're going to see the link to some of those free data sets you can explore. And then first of all, we're going to look at the overview of high quality free data set available out there. Like I always tell you, see, when you want to model, you may not have your own data set, but don't lose track. Don't lose interest. The data is not available. No, go online, get free data set. But it's not related to my area. Yes, that is how to start. Start from free available data set online, model it, while then you can then put your eye in, try to gather data for your own environment. But getting data set it takes a lot of time. But in your learning period, feel free to use free data set, model it. And the good news is, if you're able to do something really great, you can publish your work, even though you have used free data set. It's allowed. You can publish your work. Later, when you are able to have access to generate your own data locally, you publish again. That is going to be another publication considered different from what you did when you use free data set. So you are not losing anything. You are not losing your effort. So you are making use of free data set to also guide people, to provide guidance and let them know that, hey, this data is okay, it's good. You can actually make use of it as the case may be. And then the next is how can you use these data sets, how to use them for predictive modeling, and then applications in conflict, peace, and disaster response management, and also for others. One of the first data set there is the UCDP conflict data. You can get it from the link. See, it contains armed conflict event data, violence, fatalities, actors, locations, It is ideal for forecasting of conflict risk. This data set here is very much ideal when you want to forecast conflict risk. Who are those people at the risk of conflict? So quickly you can be able to identify them, and then you can prevent the conflict from actually happening. So that is the UCDP conflict data. Well, another one, the prior grid. So which is you can also see the link. It's a special grid data set. It's supports socioeconomic and it contains socioeconomic and environmental indicators. So it is useful for building feature-rich machine learning models. So you can check them out, download the data set, explore it, and then say, oh, then you are going to see something also there. Some of the papers that have used this data set, they are presented there. You can download those papers also and see from what angle have they looked at this data set. Can I look at it from another angle? Or what was the performance accuracy they were able to reach? Maybe the previous one were able to reach 85%. So you can take it further and see how you can push it to the 90s. 95, 98, 99, get better prediction. Or maybe they have not done feature selection. Maybe you need to do feature selection. Pick what have been done before, those earlier papers, check them out. They are using 25 features. Can I reduce the feature to like 5 or 4 and still get reasonable results compared to what they got also? So there are a lot of things we can experiment and check. There are the home 6 data set also. This one is multilingual text data of humanitarian violence reports. It is great for natural language processing tasks, for classification and also extraction. It supports violence or violence type and severity prediction. If you want to predict the type of violence that you may expect, it's a very good data set to check out. Or you want to know the severity of a particular violence. It's something to identify. Is there going to be a violent activity or not? Yes or no. After that, next level, can I predict the severity of that violence? High, low, medium, depending on that. So if you are looking into doing such a thing, you can check out the data set from this link. Of course, this material is going to be made available for everybody so that you can be able to check them out. Then we also have the incident and the medic, which is more of image data set. It contains large image data set of disasters and incidents useful for computer vision models. They are more of image-based data set. You can use it to assess damage. You can carry out damage assessment. Be able to know, okay, what is the essence of this violence, of this conflict, of this disaster, maybe earthquake or flood, what have you. So you can assess the damage, the assessment of the damage area. Event classification also. This data set can support you appropriately. And then when you want to go with again, before we move, let me just show you, these are the data sets. The first one, you see there are different categories there. So you can see there, disaggregated data set, yearly data sets, covering 1946 to 2024. You can see huge number of data sets. Yearly data set covering 1989 to 2024. Other UCDP data set, you can check them out. Actor data set version list, on-site data set. So many options you can check out there. We have we have the prior data sets. See it? We have several data sets. The original data set is there. Check them out. You have different variants there. You have journals, different journals. So to check out Journal of Peace Research Application data set. We have the Home 6 multilingual data set. Yeah, I mentioned something there. You can also see the connected paper. You can check out paper that have used this data set. You can see download them and see what they have done. And now you can then work on that their own paper and then maybe produce other very interesting work after them. The incident 1M data is also there. Share them with the more of image data set. Share them out. They also have connected papers. That is, which paper have used them or not. So we have the MEDIC, which is a multitask learning data set for disaster image classification. So this gives them in the CSV file, different format. You also have connected papers that have used the data set, so you can easily check out and then be able to do your own modeling or contribution in that respect. Now, so having looked at the data set, then we want to look at the predictive modeling workflow, how you can use those data sets. See, for conflict prediction, you want to predict conflict, it's good to consider UCDP and prior read the data sets. Sometimes do them separate. Then sometimes you can also bring them together and see how you can combine the data set, and hopefully you can get better results. We'll call it heterogeneous modeling, heterogeneous database modeling, where you have data from different sources. You can match them together to have better modeling capacity. But sometimes, if you can do this separately first, it's good. Do this separately first is good. So two of them together will be great for you to also investigate later. How can you use it to also increase the precision or accuracy of conflict prediction solution? So you can also check out, try to do the peace building effectiveness modeling. These two data sets also will support you. Peace building effectiveness. No, we said it's also better to let the community go into discussion, communication, before it snowballs into conflict. We can prevent it. Let them go into discussion, negotiation, give and take. This land belongs to us, this land belongs to us. The two of them, before they start killing themselves, let us negotiate. Okay, can we give social percentage to you? So there are systems now that you can try to simulate which of the discussion model will work better than the other. How can you be able to do it better? So some of these data sets also, you can use it to investigate disaster damage assessment. It's also a possibility. Next step is, after using individual data set, you may also want to combine data set for richer prediction. I mentioned that. See, you may want to combine data set for better prediction. Bring data set from this source, this one from this source. Those sometimes could be very challenging, but it's not out of it. Always remember the principle of let the data speak. Don't assume something is impossible. Get your data to work and see how far you can go. Sometimes also, you may also want to try out automating the preprocessing. See, in what I call multi-channel pipelining technology, in data, let the data speak textbook, we highly recommended this. See, we have several preprocessing methods, and you cannot be sure which of these preprocessing will give you better results when you apply it. So you see some people, they will apply so many preprocessing, 1 year, 1 year, 1 year, 1 year, 1 year. This is the same one pipeline, inside one pipeline. At the end of the day, when they run the final model, the result may be poor, maybe 55%. We are now saying this model, this preprocessing, put it in one pipeline. Another preprocessing, put it in another pipeline. Then run the final model, check them out, which of them is getting better result. Okay, can I put these two together in another channel? These two, number 1 and number 2, can I put them together in the same channel and run the model and get the result? Can I put 1, 2, 3 in the same channel? So check different combinations. This is what we said, but we mean by automate the preprocessing. You can have a system to automate different preprocessing checking so that you cannot just be sure which preprocessing will give you better result. So if you just employ preprocessing as many as possible, it may even lead to getting worse result than when you didn't use any preprocessing. So this is the essence of that. Then you can deploy models for real-time alert checking, and then see what impact you can make. These are just advices for you to follow. So in conclusion, the way forward There are key takeaways from these several ways of discussion on the peace conflicts, the disaster management and related concepts. However, our key takeaway is AI is a dual-use technology. That is, its impact is not predetermined by the code itself. It offers immense potential for good, preventing conflicts, and saving lives, which is very, very important. Sometimes it's very disheartening to see two communities that have been living together for ages suddenly snowball to crisis, they start killing themselves. Very bad. Can we use AI? Yes, AI has been used successfully in to prevent several conflicts from even starting. And the EU communities were happy for that. But at the same time, AI also poses what we call existential risk. That is, for example, when you automate warfare, that's going to be disastrous. Want AI to be used, even you that you started it, you may not be able to control it at a point in time. That is the danger. And of course, eroding rights, privacy of people. AI had that capability to quickly erode whatever you think is your own personal rights and what you are entitled to. That will be taken from you, away from you because of some of the possibilities. And we've tried to ensure safety and security for people. Some people, so sometimes you can't eat your cake and have it. It's give and take. But there has to be control to know where to reach and where we should not reach, as the case may be. So we said our future will be shaped by robust ethics, guiding developments, robust ethics, guiding development, inclusive governance, and international cooperation has to be there. International community has to have rules of engagement. The do's and don'ts. You cannot go to this level. You can't go to this area. Things has to be well spelled out. Inform public discourse on the role of AI in our society. There's need for education. There needs to be a lot of education. Educate people. A lot of people, once they hear AI, they also think negative. No, we can use it for a lot of important things that can save life. It's not about destroying life, but people need to be informed about them. I see AI amplifying human capacity. That's something we can do as human beings, but we can't do them at large scale. AI will make it possible for us to do that at large scale. See, by just sitting down, you can be able to predict that there will be a disaster in the community. And if you don't act, that thing may happen. These are some of the huge potential that can take advantage of in the AI development. So, and that is why we end this by saying the choice is ours. What we decide to do with AI. That's why in our own year, we do promote what I call ethical and responsible utilization of AI. It's not everything that AI can do that we use it to do. We have to deliberately stop some. There's no need to go this way because AI can generate a deep fake, fake conversation. You think somebody is talking, it's not the one in the video. What do you gain by confusing people? We don't participate in this kind of unethical use of AI. We encourage people to always make sure that they partake in what we call ethical and responsible utilization of artificial intelligence. So by so doing, the world will be better. We all live peaceful, peace-oriented, peaceful community, devoid of conflicts through preemptive prevention of this kind of and other preemptive management of disaster. So thank you all for listening, and I wish you all the best. And again, final note, always remember, applications are diverse, many, but methods are generic. The method you have used to solve peace and resolution, conflict and disaster management, you can take the same method and go and use it in your other area, civil engineering and stuff for that. So you have nothing to lose by understanding how you can use it in one area. You can easily take it and use it in other area. So thank you very much. I believe that is how we're going to have on the area we'll be discussing was past several weeks. Thank you very much once again. Now we can have